Well, today's lesson we're going to look at anaerobic respiration. In the last lesson, we looked at aerobic respiration, which obviously, as you know, requires the use of oxygen um, to produce energy, and this energy is used for various different functions in our body. I hope you have looked at that in detail and you have understood, and you've also attempted the questions on the website which was referred in the YouTube video. Please, if you haven't, open that link, complete all the questions on aerobic respiration, and also then afterwards check the answers to ensure you have understood it correctly. Okay, so today's lesson we're looking at differences between anaerobic and aerobic respiration. Okay, then we are going to hopefully explain the advantages of anaerobic respiration in other organisms. Okay, what I want you to do is I want you to do this quick starter. See if you can find out yourself from internet what is the word equation for anaerobic respiration. Okay, and what is the word equation for the breakdown of lactic acid? So two questions. What is the word equation for anaerobic respiration? What is the word equation for the breakdown of lactic acid? I'll give you a couple of seconds to absorb this, and then I would like you to attempt these in your book, piece of paper, wherever you are doing, and eventually I want to ensure you bring these back to school. When we're back in school, you bring all the completed work so I can mark it and I can look at your progress in that sense. Okay, so word equation for anaerobic respiration is glucose giving lactic acid. Okay, the lactic acid is the key component. Okay, so lactic acid plus oxygen gives you carbon dioxide and water. So the key component in here in anaerobic respiration is lactic acid. So what is the word equation for the breakdown of lactic acid? Lactic acid reacting with oxygen gives you carbon dioxide and water. So we are going to look at this in this lesson. Okay, so we looked at the two types of respiration. There's aerobic respiration, which we've done, needs oxygen and happens in cells when glucose reacts with oxygen and it gives you energy, releases energy as a waste product. Anaerobic, so N means does not need oxygen. It happens when there is not enough oxygen. So you don't have enough oxygen. So how are you going to respire? You use something called anaerobic respiration. So it's very important you clearly understand the key differences between aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. So aerobic needs oxygen, reacts with glucose. Anaerobic does not need oxygen and for respiration. Okay, so quick question about aerobic respiration. The keywords here and they are fill in the blanks. I want you to do these in your book. So question. So the statement is every life process, example growth, needs energy. Dash is the process our body used to produce this energy. I want you to then complete all the missing blanks. The glucose we need comes from this, and the oxygen from this. Water and carbon dioxide are breathed out. The main product of this equation is this. This energy is used to synthesize a chemical called adenosine triphosphate (ATP), okay, which transfers energy from chemical to dash cells within in the body. So the key questions here, okay, and I want you to use the keywords underneath, okay, and see if you can complete the missing blanks. Some things you might not know, so I'm giving you time to research if you have to research in that sense. Um, and I'll put the answers on in about 30 seconds. Okay, so the answers are okay, I'm going to put on 30 seconds. Okay, so answers are coming up in 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See, yeah, so answers are there. So every life process needs energy. Respiration is the process our bodies use to produce this energy. The glucose we need comes from food, and the oxygen from breathing. Water and carbon dioxide are breathed out. The main product of this equation is energy. This energy is used to synthesize a chemical called adenosine triphosphate, which transfers energy from chemical bonds to cells in the body. Okay, so these were the questions and these are the answers. I'll leave these on for you to absorb them and complete them in during this statement. Okay, so use this, write the answers down. Hopefully, you have got all the answers. Okay, correctly. Okay, I'll put this on for another 10 seconds or so, and then you can check the answers. Okay, right. Okay, so an anaerobic respiration. As you exercise faster, your breathing rate and heart rate increases to supply oxygen and remove carbon dioxide faster. But there comes a point when they can't increase further. If you exercise, as some of you might do, harder, then your body needs to gain the extra energy. It also provides a sudden burst of energy that you need when you start exercising hard. So, anaerobic respiration, to summarize, is when, for example, you're exercising and you run really fast, you need energy, okay, and anaerobic respiration in that will provide you a quick burst of energy, okay. Your breathing rate will go up, your heart rate will go up, and this will supply oxygen and remove carbon dioxide faster. So the quick example of this is athletes who run, if you do exercise, if you jog, and if you jog faster, the faster you do, the faster you run, the more energy you need. And where do you get this quick burst of energy from? Because your body is anaerobically respiring. Okay, so the quick supply of energy. Okay, so anaerobic respiration is a type of respiration that does not use oxygen. It is used when there is not enough oxygen, and it can be summarized by the following equation: glucose giving you lactic acid plus energy. So this type of respiration may be used. This is an example. For example, when an animal is being chased by a predator. So you might have seen that on TV. Animal is being chased by a predator, and they use anaerobic respiration to release energy, which will make them run faster. And same way when we do some exercise. Okay, so anaerobic respiration also takes place in plants and some microbial cells. Okay, in the presence of little or no oxygen. Examples of this includes the root of plants in waterlogged soils and bacteria in puncture wounds. Okay, they also respire. Anaerobic respiration in plant cells and some microorganisms produces ethanol and carbon dioxide as opposed to lactic acid. It can be summarized by this equation: glucose it releasing ethanol plus carbon dioxide. Okay, now you need to sort of look at, so let me just summarize this before going to the next page. So anaerobic respiration does not use oxygen. I'm looking in the green section here, and it is used when there's not enough oxygen. It can be summarized. The main thing you need to remember is it produces lactic acid and energy. And example is when you're running or when animal is being chased by predator. Okay, and anaerobic respiration also takes place in plants and some microbial cells. So the key component here is that you don't need oxygen, okay, but it produces lactic acid. So that's why it's different from aerobic respiration, but it also produces quick burst of energy. Okay, that's what you need to remember. Okay, so some things I haven't looked at, so I want you to have a look at this. Okay, so so we know the equation is glucose gives you lactic acid and energy. Now I want you to see if you can do any of these. Okay, now okay. Uh, Unlike I'm going to use, sorry about this. I think the writing has come over the text. Unlike aerobic respiration, anaerobic respiration is when energy is provided without needing needing what? Needing oxygen. Okay, this happens when the body can't produce oxygen quick enough for aerobic respiration to take place. So it only happens when your body can't quickly respire to via aerobic respiration. Okay, so next thing. Okay, so I've given you two. See if you can work out the rest. Anaerobic respiration produces energy much dash. Lactic acid is also produced, and this can build up muscles, causing dash and dash. The debt, which I haven't covered with you, I'm going to do that now, that needs to be repaid by deep breathing to dash. Okay, see if you can work the rest of them out. Okay, I'll give you about 30 seconds to or 1 minute to look at that. I want you to do these in your book, please. Okay. So the reason why I've put these on is so you attempt these in your book, and then you attempt write the answers down. Okay. So when you bring back your books, you will have these completed. Okay. I'll give you 1 minute. Okay. This happens when the body can't produce oxygen quick enough for aerobic. Anaerobic respiration produces energy much quicker, like I said. Lactic acid is also produced, and this can build up in muscles, causing fatigue and an oxygen debt. The debt that needs to be repaid by deep breathing. So that is something like you need to give it back. Okay, so don't worry about that too much at the moment. I will cover that later on. Okay, so um, so the key thing you need to remember is anaerobic respiration, lactic acid is produced, a bit of energy is produced. It gives you a quick burst of energy if you're running, okay? Um, but if you have too much lactic acid to build in your muscles, it can cause you fatigue, okay? So that's what you need to remember in this situation. Last thing, differences between anaerobic and aerobic respiration. Because the main differences are these. I want you to do this yourself. So if you can see if you can work out the key differences in anaerobic and aerobic respiration, I want you to do a table like this, and I want you to find out the key differences between anaerobic and aerobic respiration. You can write them down in your book, and once you've done that, please bring that to your school, and then we will have a look at what you've done. So I'll give you um, well, take your time. I'm going to put the answers on there anyway, so you can use that, and you can use information what you have found to add to this tally. Okay. So main differences: aerobic requires oxygen, occurs in mitochondria of the cells, produces a lot of ATP. Okay, adenosine triphosphate, used when heart rate and breathing rate rises. Anaerobic occurs in the cytoplasm. I haven't done this with you. Cytoplasm of cells, doesn't require oxygen, used during the first 1 to 2 minutes of exercise, produces less ATP per glucose molecule. Okay, so these are the key differences. Aerobic requires oxygen, occurs in the mitochondria, produces a lot of ATP. Okay, used when heart rate and breathing rate rises. Anaerobic occurs in the cytoplasm, doesn't require oxygen. Okay, used during the 1 to 2 minutes of exercise, produces less ATP per molecule. Okay, last thing I want you to attempt is this. Okay, I want you to like go on this website mathsmadeeasy.co.uk. Okay, and I want you to um, open the link for anaerobic respiration. It's got questions there which I want you to attempt like you did with aerobic respiration. Okay, and then I want you to, once you've done that, look at the answers to see if you've got them correctly done. Okay, and please print these out or write them in your book, and when you come back you will have already done the work we were supposed to do. Okay, So quick summary, I'm going to summarize this now, and then we're going to finish this. So anaerobic respiration is a type of respiration that does not use oxygen. It produces lactic acid plus energy, and it's just when you are exercising, you need this kind of energy respiration. Okay, it also happens in plants. Okay, also happens in microorganisms. Okay, the key components you need. Three things features are: it doesn't need oxygen. Okay, um, and it's quicker than aerobic respiration. It produces lactic acid, which can cause fatigue and oxygen debt. So I want you to have a go at these questions, please, if you can, and then hopefully you would have covered everything in this part. So we looked at differences between anaerobic and aerobic respiration, and I'm going to look at the advantages of anaerobic respiration in other organisms in the next lesson. Thank you. Goodbye.